Welcome to Woodshop 101. This is episode 89 from July 10th, 2017. On today's show, we're going to talk about Sour Patch consumption and shop downgrades. Sam Raimondi of the DIY Huntress makes an appearance after almost an entire year. I'm also joined tonight by my co-host Drew Short of Rockin' H Woodshop and Sam Wooddell of Sam Ryan Designs. What's going on tonight?
I'm about to say, who's Annette?
Wrong guest.
That's the wrong podcast.
Sam, where have you been?
I feel like I blacked out this year. Like, I don't even know what happened.
That's how your text messages are, too.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, I just forget to answer texts for, like, months on end. Thank goodness I have friends in my life like you who understand that.
We get text messages from, like, 6 months later. Oh, yeah, let's pick up this conversation.
But I don't even act like I missed anything. Like, 6 months later, I will just pick up the conversation. Like, we're still having it. And then you guys will be like, this was 6 months ago. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's fine. Like, ignore the fact that I'm answering just 6 months later.
It's relevant now in my life, so that's why I'm going to answer it.
See, it's a good thing that I keep my text messages. Otherwise, I'd be like, refresh my memory on why we're talking now. So...
You know better. You know better than to delete my text because you're like, Sam's going to answer this in like 4.5 months, so I better hang on to this one.
I need to have the backstory on it.
Yeah, and you apologize. Like, that's the first time we were in the group text. You waited like a couple days to respond. And you were like, so excited to come on to this podcast. I'm really bad at responding.
That's exactly how it was. I usually follow up the response. Like, Drew could be like, hey, Sam, what was the name of that website you used for giveaways? 6 months later, I'll write him back like Rafflecopter. And then I'll follow up with, by the way, sorry it took me 6 months to answer this. It's usually how it goes.
And my giveaway's over. Thanks.
Well, that's not the one I used, but thanks anyway.
So for anyone out there, though, who's like sent me an email or message and you haven't heard back, give me like 4 more months and I'll get back to you.
I can just see her percentage response time on Facebook. She has like a 1% response rate.
It used to be 100. I don't know. Yeah, it got bad. Things were crazy this year.
It's a Sam. We all forget to respond. That's for sure.
It's got to be a Sam thing.
Yeah. We would love to thank our supporters this week, Michael Brindle and Devin Richter. If you would like to support the show, you can head over to woodshop101podcast.com/listen. Find the show notes for today's episode, and there will be links for small one-time donations and reoccurring donations. If you want to become a patron to our Patreon campaign, then head over to patreon.com/woodshop101. You can buy a Woodshop 101 podcast t-shirt. They're awesome. Make sure you get every color. Head to countrysideworkshop.com/shop for the link. And the dog just pushed open the door.
I was about to say, sounded like Lurch just entered your door.
She wants to join in on the conversation today.
And we got some awesome blue shirts for the month of July. So,
yes.
Ooh, limited edition, folks. Limited.
Until July 31st or whenever I send our shop manager an email, they will go off sale. So.
And we have new women's cut t-shirts too.
I've already put my order in on those.
Me too.
I'm trying to pull up. We have one more supporter, Sean McHenry, and I totally forgot to put him in there.
Shame on you.
Bad.
You know what? Good thing that I talk to him like almost every day. He's helping me plan an event in October. So, Sean, thanks for supporting us. All right.
So much.
Yeah. So much. Look, and I'll even go and put it in there right now. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the shop.
Whoa. Sorry.
Whoever wants to go first, go ahead and chime in.
Drew, is that your phone? Like, you're probably the worst person to go to the movies with. Shut your phone off.
He's probably the one in the background talking and thinks, now I gotta go find the bleep noise.
What, like a beaver dam? Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
Word of the day.
Let's just see how much we can keep going here.
Welcome back, right?
Okay, well, since I'm first on the show notes, I guess I'll go. Let's see. I am building another 3D puzzle for probably my own household. I really liked...
Or art?
Well, I'm going to. I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
But I've already made the decision to go ahead and make one. So I'll probably make a big S for short, of course. I don't know if I... No. Because then it would have to have a little 2 at the top of it. It's squared. But I don't know if I'm going to do a rock and H, like a leaning rock and H, if I can figure out how to do that without it tipping over. Might have to make a little flat spot on it so it'll stand up. But I really liked making that, and it was a big hit on Instagram as well as my following on Facebook. I was getting orders that, I didn't even put out that I wanted orders, and people were like, "Ooh, I want one. How much? How much?" I was like, No. But I'll probably make another one, do a video on it, because I didn't do a video last time. I just did some shots here and there to post to Instagram, and it had quite a bit of views on Facebook. I think over 3,000 views. And then I've got a visitor coming in from Amarillo, Texas, this Saturday. It's Jake from Northside Custom Crafts, and you can follow him on Instagram as well. But he's coming to the shop, maybe do a small little project while he's here, and I don't know, maybe have a beer or two. I don't know. If y'all hear some noise, it's my wife right here.
She can make all the noise she wants there, Drew.
Yeah, don't call her out. You're rude.
Sam, oh, how I've missed you.
Like nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Oh, Sam's sticking up for you. It's okay.
The original Sam.
Yeah.
Senior Sam.
Yes, I'm rookie Sam.
No, we have Dr. Sam and I don't know, Nurse Sam.
Nurse Sam.
Yeah.
House sitter Sam. What do you want to call yourself?
Manager Sam.
Manager Sam. Okay.
I like it.
Good. Perfect. I could never be a doctor. You're so smart. High five, girl.
I don't know if I'm smart or I'm the craziest person that I've ever met in my entire life. I haven't decided yet, because I do psychology, and sometimes I get people who are like, I feel crazy, and I'm like, you feel crazy? I went to school for 9 years. I feel crazy. I sometimes just really question my own sanity.
You probably lost half of it in school.
Yeah, I definitely lost half my brain cells. I know you're supposed to learn things in school, but my brain is fried.
From 9 years of school and learning.
It's been a lot.
All right, well, what's going on in your shop now that you have graduated school?
So right now at this current moment, nothing, just because I went on a cool little road trip this week. Did Nevada, Utah, Arizona, did a lot of hiking. It was really cool. So I've been out of the shop for the past week, but right now I have the summer off, so I have lots planned. By the time this airs, I will have published a tutorial for a bench build, and then I'll have a couple other things going on as well this summer. So a lot. There's going to be a lot that is happening before September and before I start my full-time job.
So you got a full-time job?
I'm very lucky. I got a full-time job 2 weeks after I graduated. So I start in September. Yeah, I'm really lucky.
You remember how worried she was?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never going to get a job.
But that could have worked out for you, because then you could have just made this your full-time.
Yeah, because it pays.
Then you could have changed it from DIY Huntress to the psychiatric woodworker or something.
Just have people call in with like their woodworking problems and be like, ask the doc, and then offer some psychological services. I like it.
Yes.
You'd be like Lucy on Peanuts.
There's a woman who does like psychology podcasts, and people just call in with their problems all day. And sometimes I'm kind of like, I really want that job. So this could have been lucrative. I think I chose the wrong path here.
We'll come back on the show and we'll have a segment.
We'll have callers.
Yeah. Psychiatric Sam segment.
That would be so fun.
That would be kind of awesome.
Can you just hear it now? I'm listening.
How does that make you feel?
Like, well, at this moment, I actually feel kind of weird. I'm calling a woodworking podcast, and it's not a woodworking problem, so.
That's so fun. But that would be so fun. There'd be lots of laughs, for sure.
Oh, goodness. But then I feel bad because people might think we're laughing at them, but really I'm just like probably cracking myself up the whole time because I can't take myself seriously ever.
I laugh at myself.
But what about you guys? What do you have going on in the shops? I know Drew already heard from you, so you're out.
I'm good.
Sam, what about you? You still working on that table? I think you're creeping up on my 3.5 years now, or 4 years.
Not yet. I've been like a month, maybe, month and a half-ish. But we finished the tabletop. The leaves are done. The breadboards are done. I got really nervous because I was like showing off on the 4th of July because my whole family was there. And I was like, look at this table I made. It's so nice. And there's leaves. And on the bottom, I mark with like blue painter's tape. Like one side is the star side and one side's the square side. And somehow the breadboard ends got mixed up. And I'm like trying to shove it in. And it's like so embarrassing because it's not working. It just won't go in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Did the wood expand? And I just started freaking out. And then I realized that they were on the wrong side. So phew, I dodged a bullet on that one. That's for sure. But tomorrow I have the day off. And we are... my mom and I are putting all of the, oh my gosh, that thing's so cute.
Really? Your mom has a day off and it's, oh my gosh, that thing's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
You can't just bring a bunny onto the podcast and think that we can like pay attention anymore.
This was not my intention.
So for those of you who can't see, yeah, Drew is holding the cutest bunny in America right now.
He's so cute.
Oh, there's the other.
Oh my gosh,
there's another one.
They're so cute. What are their names?
Casper is the white one, and Bella is the black one.
We'll go
I thought you were going to say Shadow, or like, I really thought it was going to be something black.
We'll go figure Casper was the white one.
I love Casper. Oh my gosh. So cute.
Sorry for the interruption.
I know, and I don't stay focused very easily, so I immediately got sidetracked. But we're doing the molding tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'm really excited, and then hopefully we'll be done. I'm going to stain it. My client is really particular about the color, so it's kind of a mixture of 2 different colors, maybe 3. And then I'm doing a big dining room sideboard cabinet. And it's going to be painted navy blue. It's going to be awesome.
Where's this cabinet going?
In a client's house.
Okay. Is it a boys' cabinet?
No. It's actually, their dining room is pretty cool. They actually had a farm table made like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's still amazingly beautiful. And then they did this amazing wallpaper. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's like blues and whites. But they have wainscoting like 3/4 of the way up, and then we're gonna take the blue and the wallpaper and match it to the cabinet. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that project.
All of these colors sound kind of bachelor pad-ish. Blue wainscoting, blue cabinet.
No, it's white. It's white wainscoting. So the blue.
Oh, okay.
It's blue wallpaper.
Blue wallpaper.
No, well, okay. I totally didn't explain. The wallpaper is like white with like blue diamonds like this, and it's a light blue and a dark blue.
Okay, I got it.
I'll take a picture and send it all to you. And you got it.
And then I'll answer the text 6 months later. So.
Oh, that looks great.
Don't worry about it. She'll send the text to you in 6 months because I'm pretty sure there's still texts that we're missing that she said she was going to send us.
I'll be ready to answer them. That's perfect.
So in a year, you'll have an answer. So what's the status of this office build that you sent us a picture of like 2 weeks ago? Yes, wasn't that you, Sam?
An office build?
Didn't you send us a picture of a room you were working on? Yes, you did.
Oh, I was painting at my house. That's my house.
That's what I'm talking about.
I wanted you guys to come and help me because, first off, I definitely think I lost a couple brain cells painting because the guy at Sherwin-Williams sold me the oil-based primer, and I had never used it before. And I texted Drew and Jeremy saying, have you guys ever used oil-based primer before? And then I fell asleep, so they probably thought it was great.
I don't know about you, Jeremy, but that text message didn't read like that at all. It was just a bunch of jumbled up letters.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
I definitely lost brain cells doing that. That's for sure.
Is that the room that you were going to put the shiplap and stuff in?
No. It's a different room. The shiplap is just going to go on gray walls, and I'm going to paint it. So
you got a lot of rooms going here.
Yes. Soon.
So did you finish the painting in that room, or is the primer still up?
The primer is still up. And I haven't even cut everything yet, so.
It's probably still off-gassing, too, since it was oil.
Probably.
So what you're saying is when I'm there in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's probably still not going to be painted.
Yeah, no. Definitely.
Well, of course not. She wants your help.
That's why I sent it to you guys. I said, oh, don't you guys want to come help? And you were learning how to ride a bike. Or your son was learning how to bike, which was way better than what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was doing that.
Well, Sam's just not too far from you, too. She could take a short little jaunt down there.
Why not?
You're off all summer. You don't start.
Road trip.
Sometime between August, 8th and the 12th.
Yeah,
So
I have it in the calendar.
That's when you can make a road trip down there.
Well, aren't you bringing a bunch of kids?
Grown adults, I guess, if you could consider kids.
Well,
They're
they
close enough.
From all around the world.
We can all paint. It'd be so fun.
Yeah, they're going to paint everything but the thing you want painted. So,
what are you doing, Jeremy?
Well, this last week, I built like a ladder holder thing. Really, it was like a bunch of scraps thrown up on the ceiling to hold my ladder. And the thing went crazy on Instagram. I think it was the most likes I've had on a picture in a long time. It was like 350 likes or something. And it's literally like two 10-inch pieces of 2x4 with pocket holes drilled in one side and mounted to the ceiling, to the stud, and a hole drilled through it for a bar. And then like a $2.50 like little bicycle hook from Lowe's drilled into a piece of plywood that's mounted on the ceiling, and that's what's holding my ladder up there. And people went crazy for it. It was like, oh, how'd you do it? I want to do that. That looks awesome. Like, does it look stable? And I'm like, I mean, it's holding my 6-foot fiberglass ladder just fine. It's still up there 2 weeks later. So it's literally I put the thing together in like 30 minutes from like start to finish, and didn't expect people to be like, wow, that thing is like insane. I want to do that. All right. So that's what I got done last week. I started designing like a drill charging station. And then my MacBook Pro died and deleted everything I had already started working on. So
It died as in battery?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay. Well, at least it didn't die. That's like my worst fear.
No, it's fairly new. It's only like 2 or 3 months old. So, but yeah, the battery died, and so everything I'd already worked on deleted. So I'm gonna have to go back through and start designing it again, which could be a good thing, I guess, in a way, because I'm not really set on exactly what I want. I know I want a cabinet, like an enclosed cabinet, so I can put like all my drill bits, screws, and all that. So I have like an actual drill like cabinet. But then I want to mount my all my drivers under it in like one of the like the little channels, like the little T channels or whatever that you see everybody else putting them on like their drill charging stations. So I haven't quite hammered out exactly how it's gonna look because I want a place to put the chargers as well. So I feel like I'm trying to add all this stuff to it. It's going to get really complicated and get really big. So I might have to downgrade and figure something else out. So that has consumed most of my thoughts. At least the last week is like how to get the best design for what I want on it.
Dude, you need to just stick to these ladder holders.
So
you should have made plans for that ladder holder.
Yeah, I still may, but I mean, let's be real. It's like scrap lumber. Go find scrap lumber and screw it to your ceiling.
That's what we did with our like long pipe clamps that are super long.
Yeah.
We put scrap woods, like 2x4s, and then we put a metal pipe, and then we like push them up in there. It's an awesome idea. I love it.
The way your ladder thing works, you put it up on the hook first, slide the pipe out, push the ladder up, and slide the pipe back over, or
no?
Or do you just...
So you slide it on the side that has the pipe. You slide the ladder in through the like. Let me see. Let me pull up the picture. It's kind of hard to explain. You would slide it through the side with the pipe first, and then hook it.
So you're just feeding it from one end to the other.
So you would feed it from this side. So where the hook is at, you would feed it up into it that way. Push it far enough that you can pull it back and set it down onto the hook.
I didn't know if you had enough clearance to the wall to feed it in like that or not.
Yeah, I think it's probably like 2 feet or something. And it really doesn't take it. I mean, it's only literally a couple inches to get it over there. And I've had the hook for a while. I've had the idea for a while to do it, and I finally just got like in this mood of going through it and just like trashing all sorts of stuff and getting rid of stuff. And I'm at the point now I got like a pile of like excess tools that I either don't use or haven't or not going to use, and I'm going to sell them, donate them, get rid of them, some way like that. And so I just like went through this whole cleaning like splurge, and I was like, man, you know what, let's get that out of the way so I can move like my scrap bin over here. And it all stemmed because I needed my table saw, and everything was still piled on the table saw, so I had to find home for everything on the table saw.
My table saw is home to so many things in my shop. It is really a problem.
Yeah. Well, that was the first time my table saw has been turned on in a year. I've done without my table saw for a year, and I went and I turned it on, and I made like two cuts with it. No, I made one cut with it, and it sounds god awful. Like something is wrong with it, and it kind of made me really mad because now, like, I'm gonna try to work on it and see if I can get it to figure out what it is. But I may be in the market for a new table saw a lot sooner than what I had planned. But so I don't know.
What's the table saw you're using right now?
I have a DeWalt job site. I've their like biggest job site that they make. I don't even know if they still make it anymore. But it is a scaled up version of like their smaller one. And I've used it for 7 years now. I think since like 2012. I used it maybe sooner than that, maybe 2010. So yeah, probably about 7 years. And I don't know if something happened to it during the move. for the motor shifted or whatever, but it just like it just sounded like very, very rough as the motor was running, and so it's
that stinks.
Could be getting me a saw stop sometime soon.
To be honest, I would say, to be honest, the table saw is like, to this day, the one tool in my shop that I just treat with the utmost respect, because that thing scares the crap out of me. Like, and I was working with some rickety ones. I just upgraded to a rigid with a portable stand, so I kind of like fold it up and pack it away in my small shop. But like before then, every time I would turn the table saw on, I would take a step back, hands up, be like, all right, dude, today we're gonna get along. We're gonna get along today. Use it, turn it off, and then be like, all right, I'm not touching you for another month, and then walk away. So once the table saw starts making noises, please take care of it, because it can get scary.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, but it's
so if you upgrade, are you going to do a contractor? You going to do a cabinet? What are you thinking?
No, if I upgrade, I'm going to go full out and I'm going to upgrade to the saw stop cabinet saw. So
120 or to me, yeah, 120 or 220.
I mean, my pocketbook tells me 120, which would be a 1 3/4 horse. But then the longevity in me says go ahead and do the 220, the 3 horsepower version of it. So I don't know. There's a substantial difference. I think somewhere between $700 and $1,000 difference in price between the.
Oh, kind of, but if you think about it this way, it's $300 difference, and in the future, are you going to upgrade eventually anyway? Because that would mean you have to like pay the $1,000 all over again. So it might be worth it to invest the extra $300 to not have to do that later.
Yeah.
She's already using that psychology on me, dude.
No, and that's exactly what I think. Like, well, because right now I'm like, all right, if this table saw is like something's wrong with it, then like I'll just go out and pick up another like job site saw, and then I'm like, well, I eventually want to upgrade to the saw stop anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and upgrade to the saw stop.
How much are those?
You're looking at the 3 horsepower. With a mobile base and the overarm dust collection, somewhere around 3,200. So about 2,300 to 2,400 with the 1 3/4 horsepower. So I mean, I don't know.
How much would it cost to sew your finger back on if you didn't have one?
Yeah.
Free? Because my insurance is free?
Well, there you go. Problem solved.
Saving money right there. There you go.
So it's I mean, the dilemma I get into is like, do I need the 3 horsepower? Will I ever need the 3 horsepower? Because I know a lot of people that use that 1 3/4 horsepower and cut some of the thickest stock and have no problem with it. So is it just the power head in me saying, hey, go for the 3 horsepower, more than the practicality of it? So
I have something to say. Because
okay, raise your hand. Yes, you in the front. Yes, student, you in the front.
Last time I was like, oh, I have something to say.
Yes, you in the front.
Well, I recently just drank the green Kool-Aid for the domino, and we got the smaller domino that can only do the
10mm tendons.
Yes, the 10 millimeter one. And we regretted it for a really long time that we didn't just go ahead and get the big one, because we needed our dominoes to go deeper or wider. Thankfully, we were able to like figure out a solution and kind of make our own off of that. But I definitely am going to tell you, you should definitely just do it. Yeah. Because we regretted it and we were kind of mad and we had already used it and we can't return it. So, well, we figured it out. But that, you should just go ahead and get the big one. That's for sure. I give you the double thumbs up. Just do it.
Peer pressure.
Let me go ahead and unplug the microphone or the headphones so my wife can hear you pressuring me to get the $3,000 table saw.
Wait, what happened with the lady? No go with the crazy lady?
You want an update on this? So,
yeah.
She's trying to redo this entire place on her own, which is awesome. I mean, she's got a contractor helping do some stuff, and so I was like, I sent her a design. I was like, I don't like this. It's 3 drawers. They're 10 inches each, and she was like, yeah, I don't really like that either. So she went to 6 drawers or 5 drawers of 6 inches each, and then she's like, but the 10-inch drawers would give me so much more storage per drawer. And then she got onto something I don't know. I don't really know how to evolve. And then I was just like, look, if you want my personal opinion, because then she was like, if we do this, then the feet are too small. And I was like, all right, well, if we go with bigger feet, I'm gonna have to change the entire dimensions of everything. And then she said something, and I was like, why don't you just do an open base with the butcher block top? And have a shelf on there, and we'll put hooks to store your pots and pans, because that's one of the hardest things in a kitchen to store, especially if you're trying to put it in a lower cabinet or put it in a drawer. Hang them up. That solves it. And she was like, well, back and forth. Then she sent me this crazy other idea from Pinterest or whatever that's a cabinet, but it's got the doors on the width side of it. So it'd be on the end. The door and the drawer is on the end. And I was like, well, I mean, we could do something like that. But now you just have this 3-foot deep cabinet that your things are going to get lost back there. It's pointless.
Could you do 2 doors on either end?
We could. But the conversations evolved well past that point already. So she's like, So we finally, she was like, oh, okay, well now I sent her this other idea that I saw, and she was like, okay, I like that, but I'm thinking about it without the lower shelf. And I already knew where she was going with it. I was like, so you're thinking so you could put some bar stools under it. And I was like, if that's the way you go, you and sign on to a contract, I'll build the bar stools as well. And nothing. Didn't hear anything for 3 days. Mind you, all this conversation is spaced out over the course of 3, kind of like this conversation with both of you. You respawn 3 days later. That's how this lady did. And she finally texted me yesterday or the day before and was like, hey, my trim guy had a family emergency, had to go back to New York. He left all his tools here and everything, but I need to get all my trim done, my wainscoting done. And she was like, can you do it? Can you take on that job? Because he won't be back until next Wednesday. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, as much as, yes, I can do it and I would do it, I'm going on vacation in 2 days for the next 10 days. I'm not going to come spend 3 days out of my vacation retrimming your entire house. Especially when he's going to be back on Wednesday anyway. And she's like, oh, no worries. She's like, I understand. And I was like, all right, well, have you given any more thought about this kitchen island? And she's like, no, that's kind of on the back burner until I can get this trim hammered out. She's like, I mean, I definitely still want it, which is good because I still have half of her butcher. I got her butcher block top sitting right here. And what's that?
Don't knock it over.
Yeah, or trip on it like you did last time.
Oh yeah, no, it's laying flat. But and I was like, all right, well, that's fine. Just let me know when you're ready or whatever. But I'm gonna give it only about two more weeks, and then I'm gonna tell her that she's either gotta make a decision or she's gonna have to come pick this butcher block top up. Just because I'm not gonna leave it sitting in my shop or in my office for months on end, waiting for her to make a decision on what she's gonna do. So,
dude, that's a mess.
Yeah.
Did she hear our podcast?
I don't know.
Let's hope not.
I have no idea. But
All right.
maybe she'll realize like how much of a pain in the butt she's being.
Well,
You're going to get an interesting voicemail next week from her. Watch and see. I cannot wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, but
let's put it on the podcast.
We talked about her on the last podcast too, so.
Can't wait.
You need to play that voicemail on the podcast if you do get one.
Yeah.
So she can hear herself.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's kind of move into our questions section. We had a questions. This is mainly for Sam Ray.
No, Dr. Sam.
Oh, Dr. Excuse me.
I managed.
Am I the next Dr. Phil? I kind of like this. Move over, Dr. Phil. Dr. Sam's coming.
Sam.
You'd probably have higher ratings than he would.
Yes.
But this was sent in from Inspired Woodworker, or Woodworks, excuse me. And he said, what's more expensive, Sour Patch consumption or lumber supply?
Well, I ain't sponsored by Sour Patch Kids yet, so those get kind of expensive. Yeah,
especially those 5-pound bags that you carry around.
I like inhale those things. Like they're gone. Sometimes I'll just like be in the zone, and then next thing I know, my project is not done, but my Sour Patch bag is, and I'm like, how? I just don't understand how.
They're so good.
They're
Favorite
so
color?
Okay, so here's an interesting fact. I actually like the yellow ones the best.
What? We would be sharing. I like the red and the green, and I'll eat the whole. Oh my gosh, they're so good.
I actually don't like the green ones. I will save them for last.
We would be perfect. They're Sour Patch Kids. I'll send you all of my yellow ones.
That's what I was just going to say.
I'll take them. Send them.
Just mail all the yellow ones to Sam.
Here you go, Sam.
No one likes the yellow ones. No one. Like everyone I say that to, they're like, what? Like I love the yellow ones. They're my favorite.
That's kind of like Starburst. I don't like yellow Starburst either.
Yellow Starburst are my favorite Starburst.
Pink.
Yeah, pink Starbursts are the way to go.
Everyone likes the pink ones. Overrated.
So good. I will say Sour Patch Kids are better than Starburst.
A question I get a lot
ask.
is like, what?
I was just going to say, how many bags of Sour Patch Kids do you go through in, say, a month's time?
5-pound bags or bags?
It doesn't matter.
Let me put it this way. So I graduated May 20th. I had my graduation party. I got a lot of 5-pound Sour Patch bags for graduation presents, which was like the best thing ever. It is July 6th. They're all gone. Not one of them remains. Yeah. So I would say I probably go through like at minimum 2 or 3 a month. I have a problem. It's a problem.
Man, you're like a smoker.
It is like it's an addiction. I'm addicted. I am addicted to Sour Patch Kids.
Do you need to talk to somebody about that?
But I feel like hi, my name is Sam. I'm addicted to Sour Patch Kids.
She needs her own shrink.
I'm gonna be your shrink come September.
You're the worst. You're the worst. You're like an enabler. You send me pictures of tropical flavors, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the store and get those. Like, I need to get my fix. Like, you're the absolute worst, Jeremy.
Did you go get some?
Yeah, you know what? You sent me that picture, and then when I was in the airport, I literally visited every single candy store in the airport looking for them, and they didn't have them.
So did you ever go to the store and get some?
No, I just came back from my trip, but you best know I'm going to go to Walmart tomorrow and pick up a big giant bag of them.
Oh, yeah. Walmart has everything.
You need to send us daily pictures of the progress you're making on the bag.
My favorite thing, I'm not going to lie, like one of my favorite things is when some of my followers on social media will like tag me in photos that are just bags of Sour Patch Kids, and I'm like, yes, I'm doing something right in the world. Like, it's like the best thing ever.
Was it Adam? Did Adam do like a Photoshop of you holding a bag of?
So Adam from Lazy Guy DIY for my birthday, he photoshopped a picture of me holding like bags of Sour Patch Kids. I was like, happy birthday, Sam. And I was like, this might be the best birthday gift ever. It would be even better though if you sent me Sour Patch Kids. So yes, my Sour Patch Kid collection / addiction. I don't have a problem. I won't admit it. But yeah, it gets pretty expensive. my goal one day is to like get Sour Patch Kids to just send me a 1-year supply, because it'll only last me like 4 months anyway. But like, I really, really would love that. So like, if we could start a petition on like change.org or something, that'd be great.
So it sounds like we need to get in contact with the makers of Sour Patch Kids and ask for a sponsorship.
It might have to happen.
You're probably their number one fan.
I tag them like probably 3 times a week in my Instagram stories. So I don't like, they're just pretending that they don't know me at this point. I know it.
Well, it's just Sam again.
So we would definitely have to say your Sour Patch consumption far exceeds your lumber supply.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Too bad you can't build stuff with that.
I've like toyed with the idea of, for Halloween, just building like life-size Sour Patch Kids as decor for the front yard. Like, I think that might have to happen this year.
That would be pretty awesome.
That would.
But why Halloween? Why not Christmas and Easter?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Then like for Christmas, I could put a Santa hat on them. For Easter,
Yes.
they'll get bunny ears. Like, they're just gonna stay on the front lawn forever.
There you go.
Wait, best part is like the only front lawn I know of is my parents' house. So like they're gonna have like permanent Sour Patch Kid fixtures in their front lawn and be like, really?
You got to come here and take these down.
Because since last time I was on the podcast, I moved. So now I'm living in like a 325 square foot studio apartment. But my shop is still in my parents' backyard. So sometimes I do. Sometimes I come home and there's just like random stuff on their front lawn, and they're like, "We didn't ask for this. Like, I thought you left. Like, why is it here?"
Mooch.
I mean, I would say that, except my dad. I catch my dad using my tools all the time. So he not so secretly loves it that he has a shop when I'm not there.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned this whole moving thing, because it's kind of leading into our topic that we have. Even though you didn't go through this, especially since you're still mooching.
Not mooching.
People.
She's just not fully grown up yet.
I'm just I'm not ready to grow up yet.
Gotcha. But most people, whenever they do move, they do have to sometimes figure out how to downgrade or downsize their lifestyle, and that includes, sadly, sometimes the shop. And I kind of thought it would be a good topic suggestion for this is like, if you were forced to downgrade, what kind of tools would you be forced to keep? What would you be okay with letting go with? What would be your essential things that you would want to hang on to? So, you said that this table saw scares you to death, so I'm almost certain you probably wouldn't hang on to a table saw, would you?
No, I just got my new portable one. Of course I'd hang on to it. That thing is like the best thing ever. Okay, first of all, let's just make this very clear. If my shop downgraded or was any smaller than it already is, it would just like poof, disappear into thin air, because like it's
be
so
out of a
small
job.
in there. I would be out of a job. Like, I can hardly fit what I have in there already. I don't even know. Like, I pretty much use everything in there. The only thing that sometimes I toy with putting away is I do have like a small router table that I built a mobile stand for. It doesn't get as much use as I would like for it to get. So like, I would consider putting it in storage, but not getting rid of it, and then putting something else on that stand. But the idea of like parting with any of my tools makes me really sad. So I don't like talking about it.
It's getting sad. Well, just so the people know, what size shop are you actually in? Not necessarily sharing like whatever your half is. Like, what was the grand total of the shop size that you're in?
It is a 10 by 12 foot shed. My actual floor space that I'm working in is more like 8. It's like 7 by 8 because I do share it. So it's pretty tight in there. My dad, who I share it with, because he has a classic car restoration business and he'll sometimes like store boxes of parts in there, is slowly starting to realize that I'm pushing him out of the space and taking over the whole thing. So the other day he actually was like, "You'll like this, but I think I'm buying an actual garage." And I was like, yes, because that means I'll have all of it. But yeah, it's pretty teeny in there right now.
You should just take over the garage, let him have the shed back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Plus, I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a pretty cool garage makeover for him this year. Asked a bunch of my followers if they had some spare license plates to share. Got about 100 of them in the mail, which was like pretty cool. But redid his whole space so that he actually has a garage to work in now.
I'm pretty sure I sent you a whole bunch.
You did, yeah. I got a bunch from you there. Yeah, you did. They were awesome. He was stoked about it. He has like almost every state now, which is like pretty cool. But yeah, so I did like a whole makeover, so he's not giving up that space anytime soon.
That's funny.
And in fact, I think some of the plates I sent you were from like the 50s.
Some of them were vintage ones. They were really cool.
What is
license?
What
Oh,
state,
go ahead, Sam.
What states does he have?
what is he missing?
Oh, I think he's literally only missing like Alaska, Hawaii. That like has to be it. Like he pretty much has every other state. He has a lot of duplicates now too, but if anyone out there has an Alaskan or Hawaii plate and wants to send it along, you might make my dad a real happy guy.
That's cool.
Do you notice a difference in how they're made, like the ones that Jeremy sent, the vintage ones versus what we get now?
Yeah, actually, so the vintage ones are like a lot heavy dutier. The ones that we get now were like a lot flexier, so they were bent or some of them were like in pretty bad shape, but the vintage ones were like really intact. They were, when I was putting some of the plates up on the wall, some of the newer ones you were able to screw through pretty easily. If like the holes to attach the plate to the car were like messed up, you could still like get a screw through there. But the vintage ones, like I wasn't even going to attempt it. They're pretty well made.
Yeah, we just got new plates for the state of Oklahoma, and they almost feel like they're plastic versus metal. It's just weird how they're just getting cheaper with how they make them. Pretty soon they're going to be paper, laminated paper.
A sticker that you put on your windshield. This is my license plate.
All right. Well, Sam, what was your manager, Sam? That's right, manager Sam. If you had to, and now I know you're in a 3,000 square foot shop, but if you were forced to downgrade to say a 2-car garage, maybe even a 1-car garage, of the tools that you use in your grandpa's shop, because you have some of your own, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you keep them in right now?
In my grandpa's shop.
Oh, okay.
But we use the majority of his tools. So
let's just pretend that the tools that are in your grandpa's shop are yours.
Technically, yeah.
What would you be forced to let go of, or what would you rather keep? Let's just say that.
Oh, I would definitely keep our Powermatic Table Saw. Like 100%. I love that thing. I use it all the time. If you guys watched my stories, I posted a picture of the crazy blade, that scary melamine blade, because it was on the table. But I definitely have to keep that. And maybe our bandsaw. I would not want to not have that. Actually, I don't know. I would want to keep them all. I would definitely find a space where I could get them all in there.
You guys are hoarders.
This is really hard. No, everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. It's like, for me, like, okay, I don't have kids, but like, it's almost equivalent to somebody being like, get rid of one of your kids. Like, they all are near and dear to my heart, and like, I don't want to get rid of any of them.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
I don't know. That's kind of a hard question because I use a lot. I mean, I use the drill press a lot.
Could you substitute anything?
Yes, I could. Get rid of the drill press. I definitely think so because I could just drill with my drill.
I mean, could you downgrade? Is there tools that you'd like, okay, I want to keep, but I can downgrade to a smaller version?
Yeah, like benchtop versions.
No, because I would upgrade. Like, if I got rid of my table saw, I'd buy like a sick track saw. So like, I'd be paying more money for an awesome track saw. So I'd technically be upgrading.
Yes, but it would be smaller footprint.
I don't know.
You could keep it in a smaller shop.
Yes, you could. You could
I
keep.
mean,
You could build one at Jeremy's ladder holders and put the track up there.
true, yes. I'm
Yeah.
totally stealing it. You better publish plans for that thing or I'm going to do it first.
She's going to try to steal my idea.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure I stole it from somebody else. I just don't know where I stole it from.
Ooh.
Google images.
Yeah. I know.
Just go with that.
That's a hard question.
Okay, Drew, what about you?
I'm not answering.
All right, well, I would definitely keep my table saw for one, but it's going to have to come out of that cabinet. I wouldn't be able to keep that cabinet because if I downgrade it or to a smaller size shop, it's going to be a one-car garage more than likely, and that cabinet is way too wide for a one-car garage. So I'd take the table saw out for sure. I'd definitely keep a bandsaw. You can't do a lot of woodworking without a bandsaw. And shut up.
You do a lot of woodworking without a bandsaw.
I knew it was coming. But right now I have a jigsaw. So I use that sometimes. But I'm like this close to getting it all hooked up, though, that whole bandsaw thing. I got to get a longer ponytail so I can keep it in its spot. But back whenever I had a benchtop version bandsaw, it was so easy to use and to make the hard cuts that a table saw just wouldn't. And I remember starting out, and I had just benchtop tools everywhere. So I would probably keep a benchtop sander, like a belt sander, disc sander combo, something small. I don't think I'd need my lathe at all, especially because I don't use it. So that would probably go away. The scroll saw I could probably do without.
That one I second. I second that one, actually.
The scroll saw?
Yeah, because if you have a jigsaw and a bandsaw, you really don't need that.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're just making really intricate cuts, or pretty things. I really don't use my scroll saw that much until here recently. Definitely don't need my CNC machine. I would need to keep an air compressor.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. I use that a lot. You can't get rid of that.
And a little pancake one is fine for, like nailers and things like that. But yeah, just the mainly table saw, bandsaw, air compressor, and a sander of some kind. And then just some of the handheld tools. But yeah, a lot of the bigger things that I have. The sliding compound saw too. That I can replace that with my table saw sled that I have. I mean, I can do just about anything on that sled that a miter saw can do. So that's probably what I would probably get rid of too.
Okay.
I would have to keep my joiner too. Just throwing that in there. I think the thing I would keep is sander, joiner, table saw, bandsaw. That would be fine.
What about the joiner, though? I mean, the joiner has a dedicated use. It is a one-trick pony.
I use it a lot.
Yeah, but
because it's there.
You could still get by
Using my hand.
with a planer and building a joiner sled for your planer and your table saw.
But then I would have to keep my planer.
Well, why would you keep the joiner, not the planer?
Oh, I don't use the planer as much.
See, this is a really complicated. This is an ordeal. Like, you can't ask somebody to get rid of tools.
Well,
It's just sacrilegious. That's what it is.
But here's the thing: you don't have to get rid of big tools, and it's funny that you guys all three of you are like going to like your bigger tools to think about like, okay, what can I get rid of? What can I downgrade? I literally just went through this a year ago. My shop downgraded by almost 300 feet, and I'm in I guess what they would consider a normal 2-car garage now instead of an oversized 2-car garage, and so I was forced to downgrade. But I did it at like a different mindset going into it. I downgraded like shop cabinets, things that took up large footprints that I could move around. I mean, it did help that I got the dining room table out of the shop. That helped. All right, that freed up a big chunk of floor space. But I got rid of almost 14 feet of shop cabinets. Actually longer than that. So I had a 14-foot bank of shop cabinets I got rid of, plus another like 6 or 8 feet of shop cabinets I got rid of. And I went back and I've since now added some cabinets that I've moved, but I'm very limited on the size that they can be. And I went with smaller items. Like, to me, a whole bunch of small items add up to one good large tool. So why get rid of a good large tool when I could get rid of like some smaller things that maybe I don't use as much? And I did. I really culled down my scrap lumber pile. I keep the most sheet goods I'll keep on hand now is a half sheet of any, be 3/4 or half. I'll only keep one half sheet. And I've figured out other ways to store things, like a more efficient way to store the clamps to save space. I've gone through things that I maybe have in duplicates of or excess of, and in fact I did it this last week. I found some more things that like are just taking up space in the cabinets that I could use for something else. I have a bunch of like things from like Fast Cat that are awesome products but don't fit into my workflow. So I got like their pocket chisel and stuff, which are awesome for like contractor use or people that are on the job site. So things like that, like I'm going to be downgrading and getting rid of here probably within the next month, because those small things add up to a large thing. So I can put a large thing in there, or upgrade something, or put it back on a stand of its own, something like that. So it's a different take on it. It's funny that seeing all three of you going for the bigger tools, and I went complete opposite. I looked at like what small things can I get rid of that will add up.
Well,
Okay,
that's because the question was, if you ended up in a smaller shop, what tools would you be willing to part with?
Can you get rid of smaller tools? Yes, I did. I got rid of smaller tools.
Wait, I have a unique point of view. I have a unique question. Ready? I am in a different situation where my shop will probably never get smaller than what I'm in already. Like, anything I move to will be an upgraded space. So that being said, what tool would you guys recommend that I put in a bigger shop?
A full-size table saw.
I was just going to say a huge table saw.
I honestly think my first build would be like cabinets and outfeed table for my table saw. I think that's like the biggest downfall. I have to roll my table saw. It's on wheels. I have to roll it outside and use it outside. So I would definitely build like a station for it. I
think, and I don't. They could probably back me up on it. But so you said, you're not necessarily scared of your table saw, but it definitely intimidates you. That is a very like a job site saw, like that's one of its unique features because of how the motors are always mounted. They don't weigh very much. They vibrate more. They're usually louder, and so a lot of people are usually intimidated. But when they use a cabinet saw and they're like, oh wow, like this thing it doesn't move, it doesn't hardly vibrate, it is locked down, like this thing is solid. They kind of relax more around it. They're like, okay, I'm not as nervous to use this thing. I want to use it more. I find more comfort in it. So I think by you upgrading to a larger table saw, you would increase your workflow.
That makes sense.
Or at least your desire to work with it more.
Well, okay, so since I upgraded, I definitely don't feel that. I think just like the first one I ever had was just old and cheaper, and it's what I could afford to use. And so like every time I turned it on, I'd be like, please don't take my hands off today. But now that I have something a little sturdier and like a little more heavy duty, I definitely feel like I'm using it so much more. Like I'm ripping my own trim and my own molding. Like I never would have trusted my old saw to do that. For sure not. But it still is the tool that I respect the most in my shop because there is some power there, and if you do not respect it, it will let you know that it does not respect you. So, yeah. But yeah, no, like I said though, I know I'm very confident that no matter where I move at this point, my shop will be bigger. And I always just like to hear what people would do with their space if they were in my situation.
Well, that's the deal. I mean, when you're in a small shop, you're always constantly thinking about, if I had a bigger shop, what would I upgrade, or what do I want in a bigger shop? You're always thinking about that because you know the workflow that you're having in your current shop is not where you want to be. But thinking the opposite way is very difficult to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, if my shop was any smaller, it would just like disappear. So yeah, the idea of getting rid of things just isn't an option for me because I worked really hard to fit everything into that shop in the first place.
I want one of those Craig things you just got. The Craig pocket.
Yeah. So that's on my recommended products tonight. So it's a good segue maybe. But I just got a Craig Foreman, and those of you who follow me, I love pocket hole projects. I think they're quick, they're easy, they're not intimidating. It's the best way to get people comfortable with the idea of building things and joining wood together. So I got the Craig Foreman. It essentially drills all the pocket holes for me, which is like life-changing. I built a bench. The plans will be up by the time this comes out, but essentially it took me, I'd say, about 2 minutes to drill every single pocket hole for this bench, which would have basically taken me maybe a half an hour to do it by hand, half an hour to 45 minutes by hand. It is an expensive tool, but if you are a pocket hole person and you're looking to save a lot of time, I definitely recommend this thing. It is so life-changing. It is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like the version that Norm Abram had on the Yankee Workshop way back in the day. And his was a router bit and a drill bit that made the pockets. And it was, a big go gaudy machine. So, yeah, that's kind of like a hat tip to Norm Abram's machine that he always used. I don't even know who made that model that he used.
My grandpa and I, when I would be at my grandparents' house when I was little and they'd be babysitting me or something, we always watched that show. It was always on.
That was the Saturday morning show.
It was.
Mine was MASH. I could recite all the MASH for you.
I was a 90s kid. Mine was Pokemon. Woke up Saturday mornings to watch Pokemon. I never missed an episode.
So now you should feel old because your generation just made its repeat.
Yeah.
All your Pokemon as a kid just made its repeat because my son's going through the Pokemon stage.
So maybe him and I can play Pokemon together.
Yes.
Go.
That's Jeremy. Do you remember Pogs?
Yes.
I had so many of those.
Sam probably don't remember.
You don't know what those are, Sam?
Sam doesn't know.
I had them. I had like a huge collection.
Aren't those things that would bounce?
They're like little disc things.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
Pogs?
Yes! Oh, now I know.
Yeah, where you had slammers?
Slammers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Slammers, that's what they were called.
Yes.
Those got banned from all kinds of schools, including the one that I went to, because kids would fight over losing their Pogs.
Whoa. We were civil. We traded.
I had like slammers like this thick. Like.
What year?
That's interesting.
What
What's
year
up?
were those?
No, what year was Sam born?
1990.
I'm 89, so I'm a year older.
Golly.
Drew's like 69.
79, thanks.
79. I'm 86.
Golly.
I turn 31 next week.
Now I remember For Pogs, I know I'm way behind, and sometimes they had like Power Ranger faces on it. You could get different ones on them. Oh my gosh, I totally remember those. That's so weird.
Trip down memory lane on Pogs.
Throwback Thursday.
I'm going to see if I can find some Pogs and Bombs for my birthday next week.
That would be cool.
You know, buy yourself Pogs.
We should Woodshop 101 ones. Pogs.
Yes.
Pogs. Pogs 101. How to play.
Limited edition. I like it.
There we go. All right. Well, Sam kind of took it away and talked about the products. So let's go with Sam Squared. What are you going to recommend?
I am recommending the Yeti microphone. Supposedly, it's awesome.
Wow,
I got
it sounds so good.
It's like show us it's hooked up, right?
Yes, it is.
That was the best segue. Supposedly, it's awesome.
Hang on. Yours is wireless? True, mine's not wireless.
Dude, we stood in the wrong line.
I know.
It's not. So excited to use it, but I am recommending it, and I don't care what y'all think, but I'm going to recommend it because it's awesome. You should all go buy one.
Drew and I already have one.
And, well, Sam got, Dr. Sam has a microphone, too.
Did you get this, Sam?
No, you know what? I definitely should have, though, because you guys recommended that to me, like, a year and a half ago.
I know. I even tried to give you my Nessie that I had that stopped working. I thought it was just the cable or something, so I went and got a new cable, and it still didn't work. I was like, oh, forget it.
She was like, we're going to give this broken one to Sam so she stops talking so much.
Let's just trip her out, make her think that it's working. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. You sound great.
It's great, though. And they come in pretty colors.
Yeah, they have
really
some
nice.
that are blue and black, and
Yeah.
I wish I'd have got the black. I didn't even know that they made those until I already had this one.
So.
I went with a impulse buy when I bought mine. I was in Best Buy and I looked down and I was like, that says $89. I know they're regularly like $119, so
Oh, dang.
let me look. And it was just like the box was crushed or something, and they're like trying to offload. So that's why I bought mine.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with my Nessie. It was an impulse buy, and it was on clearance because the box was kind of screwed up. I did try and buy one of these microphones off eBay, and I got ripped off. The dude sent me an empty box.
Oh, that stinks.
I ended up getting my money back, thank goodness, but I got ripped off in the beginning.
Are super cute, too. Look at
Yeah.
They're so cute.
You gonna save the box, Sam?
Damn. Well, there's. I need to. Yeah.
I did. Mine's in the attic with my iMac case.
I still have the iMac case. I don't have the Yeti box.
The reason why I did is because I know essentially in 3 years I'm piecing out of this joint and moving somewhere else. So
Well,
why not put it back in the box that it came in?
You can, and for those of you that don't know, if you guys have Macs, you can take them back to the Apple Store on trade-in, and they'll give you money towards your next Mac.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if it's an old computer?
Yeah, because they can refurbish them.
Wait a minute. No way, because I tried that and they told me no.
Well,
you went to the wrong store.
Yeah, it has to be operable without,
Who do I have to
without
beat up?
sawdust in it and stuff.
It didn't have sawdust. It was just kind of old.
Mine's old.
Well, it can't be the obsolete models, though, like the models like way back that won't support the hardware and software that they make nowadays.
So it's just false advertisement. Don't tell people that they can bring them back.
Yeah, well,
You can bring it back if it's like a year or two old. Otherwise, your
A year or
friends
two
will be
old.
screwed.
I've got one that's over 9 years old. And the only update that it will not support is, I think, Yosemite. I think that's, is that 2 updates back?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it won't support that anymore. But the casing and everything inside of it can be refurbished with upgraded hardware, though.
Wait, the one that I returned was like 4 years old and they wouldn't take it.
Well, they don't like you.
I'm about to go file a formal complaint, Apple.
I traded in an iPad 2, and I got an iPad Pro, and they gave me like, what did they give me? $150, I think, towards my next
I'm like so
iPad.
Wait a minute. Maybe next time I return my Mac, I have to fly you up here to like negotiate for me because this is a bunch of BS.
Do you think you can make it to DC by tomorrow? We're going at like 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
No, but I told
I'm
you how
working.
to buy, Sam. Don't go buy in the store. You need to look for the open. You need to go online and look for the open box because those are a couple $100 off of sticker price.
But what if they're giving away free headphones? Then I kind of want it.
Yeah, she wants to get beat.
Well, I mean, if you want free headphones, then I guess that's how you have to do it.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if I'll let y'all know if the trade-in is true because I'm going tomorrow.
Are you going to the Apple store?
Well, we're going to Best Buy first and then the Apple store.
I don't think Best Buy will take it though.
Amazon does the trade-in program. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
Amazon is my
Google Amazon trade-in. You can go on there and search, and it'll tell you. I think I traded in an original iPad, the first one that ever came out, and I got like $75 for it. And they sent me the label, so I shipped it to Amazon for free. And as soon as the label is scanned at UPS, they send you the Amazon gift card.
What iPads were being made whenever you did this trade-in?
This was last summer. So,
okay, so you're like iPad Air 2s and stuff like that.
Yeah, so whatever last summer was.
So he got a $75 trade-in on an original iPad, and there was probably 5 or 6 versions since that iPad, and he got a trade-in value on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everything. Video games, Kindles, books, electronics, DVDs, and more.
Why are you turning your camera off?
What happened?
She got so excited that she blacked out.
As we were talking.
Yeah, see, so Amazon does an awesome trade-in program. And they do tools as well. You can trade in tools on there.
No, you can't. You can't get rid of your tools.
No,
we've already discussed this.
Only if you're upgrading.
No, just give them to me. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Hey, I'll send you a new table saw.
Planer. He bought a tool on eBay and had to drive all the way to like Pennsylvania to pick it up, and it's still in our shop working perfectly fine.
So. I bought a DeWalt planer off of my Works intranet. Where they just post stuff that they want for sale, and I saw that and I was like, yeah. I jumped on it.
All right, Drew, what are you going to recommend?
I am going to recommend the Rockler pitch and resin remover. I used that pretty recently when I did my TLC on my shop. While I was taking all the rust off the table saw, I actually just took all the blades that would fit in the resin remover that I had and just let them soak there while I was taking the rust off. By the time I came back, I even took a picture of it. There was just a ring about 1 inch wide of pitch that was just floating in the water all the way around the blade. And I could just take my finger and just kind of wipe the teeth with my finger just to get the pitch off. But it comes with everything. The kit has the bucket, has the pitch and resin remover, has the brush. I do recommend, though, to get a second jug of the pitch and resin remover because there's just enough to do like 1, maybe 2 blades if you set them on top of each other inside that bucket. But 2 bottles works great. And do not discard the liquid when you are done. You can filter out all the garbage maybe in it, but just keep it in the bucket, put the lid back on it, let it set, come back and you can use it again. That stuff is awesome. Plus, I also heard that there's other options if you don't want to buy the actual name brand pitch and resin remover. You can use like laundry detergent too. That will also work.
Yeah, there was. I would have to go back and look at the video, and I'll put it in the show notes. But I think it's Brian McCauley just put out a video about what like the best household chemical is to clean your blades. I think it just came out this week. So I will find the link to that video and I'll put it in the show notes if you guys want to go check that out. And if you don't know, Brian McCauley is who we had on back in like March for the tax preparation episode. He was a prior.
He was our insider.
Yeah, he was a prior IRS special agent. So I'll find that link and I'll put it in the show notes. So go check it out if you don't want to buy that pitch and resin remover. So.
And I think I saw the laundry detergent thing too on, I think it was a fine woodworking, like a quick tip video that they did. So. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm going to kind of go off the rails here a little bit. I'm going to recommend Groove.Life. Groove.Life it's a silicone ring. I know Sam has one, Drew has a couple, I have a couple. They have completely changed the game since I got it. I don't know, over a year ago. They do wonders. They'll tear in the shop instead of getting hung up. And I've kind of followed them. I just recently, about 6 months ago, picked up a second one. In fact, look, we're Twinkies, Drew, because I picked up the blue one like 6 months ago. But it kind of really caught my attention yesterday or the day before. They just announced that they are doing custom groove rings now. Right now is like there's 4 different like waves, different stages of when they're going to offer it. But come August 30th, they're going to offer like custom text, custom graphics on their group on all the groove rings. So if you want like your shop design on there, or like your shop logo, or your business name, or your wife's name, or whatever it be, you can have that actually put onto the groove ring now. So you'll have a personalized silicone band to wear. And it like I said, I couldn't tell you the last time I put a metal ring on my finger. And their claim to fame is they have like cool little grooves on the inside to help your finger breathe and air out, instead of other brands that are solid silicone. They don't want to breathe or air. So
rhymes with halo.
Looking them up. They have so many colors.
Oh yeah, I bought my wife the lavender and pink, and she absolutely loves them. She wears them to work because her engagement ring tears her gloves when she puts them on. So she wears the Groove.Life ring, and it not only stays on, but she can wash her hands as many times as she needs to, and her finger doesn't stay wet underneath. It airs out real nice. So, and I keep mine on pretty much 24/7. The only time I really take it off is when I have to put product in my hair. I got to look good. So, Jeremy would know what that's about, though.
Yeah, I put product in my hair every day.
Water don't count.
Oh, I mean, I buy the water.
But they're really good rings, and I didn't know about the customization ones. Do you know if the warranty is going to be the same that they offer on those versus their current rings?
I would assume so.
So I mean, if you break it,
yeah, I mean that's their claim to fame. Their warranty is like.
It's outstanding.
So in fact, let me give you the backstory on this. So I have, and I still wear it. I have the gray one that they sent us. So they sent us rings back when Sam first got on the podcast a year and a half ago or something. And I wore that one so much that I started wearing some of the outer coating of the silicone off on the leading edge, so you could see some of the orange under it. And I don't know if I talked to him on social media. I can't quite remember. But anyway, they told me to send an email to the warranty department. I did, and I was like, hey, it's still functional. It's still awesome. It still works. This is what's going on with it. And they're like, oh, no worries. Like, we will send you a new one right away. And I was like, well, I mean, because this one's still functional and I'll still wear this one, can I get a different color? Because when we first got them was like when you only had 3 colors in stock right after your Kickstarter campaign. And they're like, yeah, pick any color you want. We'll send you whatever. And I had it 5 days later.
Yep.
So
they come in little cool vintage cases too. I like those.
yeah, the warranty replacement come in like a very thick like Ziploc bag, like a very like hard like PVC type bag. At least that's what my warranty replacement came in.
Yeah, I haven't had to have mine replaced yet, so I didn't know how they sent those.
Yeah. So definitely awesome company.
Very nice. Oh God.
You okay there?
What happened?
I'm next. I need to get better at this. All right.
She lost her place.
Yes, because my show notes weren't up because I was looking at the rings. We would remind you to listen to the show on iTunes to please give us a 5-star rating. It helps us reach a greater audience.
Not only that, but give us some
Feedback.
Yeah, just some constructive criticism, other than armchair woodworking.
Like, for instance, tell Drew to stop wearing so much damn hair product.
What are you talking about? It's fine.
Did you see? We have one on here that's a 1-star rating that says a waste of time. 17 minutes on lizards and not being able to read a measuring tape from PW Norris. Well, guess what, PW Norris? I'm sorry if you don't like it. You can go somewhere else to listen. This is our personality, and we enjoy our own conversation.
Wait, okay, Jeremy, you're supposed to start with positive feedback first and then negative feedback. So say, thank you so much for your feedback. However, get the heck out and don't listen anymore.
And thank you.
And thanks again.
That would be a, what do you call it? A sandwich, some kind of sandwich.
Yeah, we call that the kiss, kick, kiss method. You give them positive, you give them. No, we can't. I don't even, for our students, we don't even say negative. We say deltas, like improvements, and then you give them a positive to end on a high note. So you keep their self-esteem high, because we have millennials.
When did we talk 17 minutes about lizards?
I don't know.
Also, don't hate on millennials. I'm a millennial.
I mean,
And what about reading a tape measure? You don't know how. He doesn't know how to.
He said you talk 17 minutes about lizards and not knowing how to read a tape measure. I don't know.
When did we talk about lizards?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, you know what, mister? We don't like you.
But we
tell them how you really feel.
There.
But we like that you left feedback.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's still activity. There you go.
Sam, did you say your mom was leaving us feedback?
Yeah, she said she thought she did, but then she had a hard time like learning how to do it. So I got to help her tomorrow.
I was about to say, is it PW?
She's amazing. Yeah, it's PW actually. No, she has listened to every single one. And then she'll be like texting me and she'll be like, you guys are cracking me up right now. I'm like, you're so cute. Oh, hey, Mom. Everyone say, hey, Susan. She'll be listening to this when it comes out on Tuesday.
Hi,
Susan.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for lending us your daughter every other week.
Of course. She's like, get her out. Because normally she's over at my house bothering me and taking up the basement with like a ton of crap that needs to go out. And my old room is like our like packaging station. So I'm sure she's glad that I'm with you guys.
Tell her you're considering building Sour Patch Kids ornaments for the front yard to last all year long.
Perfect. Just
Only if you send them to me, like after they're used for a little bit.
perfect. Sounds good to me.
Are you sure you're going to be able to show her how to do it? Because from what I can see, you still can't get access to a calendar.
Hey, well, you know what? I'm going to get a Mac tomorrow. And I'm going to get on your calendar and it's going to be great. I didn't text you to say, what time are we doing it tonight? Because it's 9:30, right?
Yeah, but what happens if we have to change it? I mean, because this is a different day. It's not.
That's what texting is for, and then she'll come back on 6 months later at the time you text her. It's fine.
But I will say, we text almost every day, right?
True that. Well, some of us are a little more active than others, but
The last couple days I haven't been very good. But normally I am good.
Normally. All right. Well, Sam, Dr. Sam, I don't really consider you a guest host because I still consider you part of this family here. So
Yeah.
I really can't say to these people how they would get in contact with you because I'm sure everybody that's listening already knows how to get in contact with you since you were on for a year.
I don't know,
text her.
Don't text me. I won't answer you for 6 months. But yeah, just in case there's some new listeners, I'm sure that there are some new listeners. And Sam's family probably wasn't listening to me when I was here. So so if you want to contact me, you can visit my website at DIYHuntress.com. There are links to social channels. I'm on, I think, every social channel. And there's also a contact button in case you want to shoot me an email or ask me any questions.
Here's the big question I'm sure everybody wants to know, though. Are you going to come back?
Yeah, I want to pop in, I really do. I want to pop in and hang out. I miss you guys.
Are you going to come back more often?
I got to wake up at 5 in the morning now every day. This might be difficult to do.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm here every 2 weeks.
I don't know how this is going to happen. This is going to be, I'm not ready to adult yet.
Maybe we can adjust. Maybe we can adjust the day we do it. We've done that I don't know how many times.
I don't think
we can
were
probably
ever
work around it
consistent when she
again.
was here.
We'll have to talk.
Yay! That'll be so fun. And then it will just be the Sam show.
And then we'll kick you guys out, and me and Sam will just host forever.
You guys suck. Well, if you guys want to get in contact with Sam, Jeremy, or myself, we do have respected websites that you can go to, which is samryandesigns.com, countrysideworkshop.com, and rhwoodshop.com. There you will find contact information that you can click on. Be sure to fill it out, and also check back in the podcast later on, because not only, and I don't know about the other two, but I certainly will tend to bring some questions that are sent to me individually and bring them to the podcast so we can have better perspectives from the other hosts of the show, including the guest hosts we might have on at that time. If you want to just contact the podcast itself, you can send us an email at the email address of kickback@woodshop101podcast.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at the phone number of 409-234-3959, and we'll feature your voicemail on air and answer anything that you might have. And there goes my thing again. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm bad at the movies. And we will answer your feedback or questions that you have. And we always like to hear those voicemails. So be sure and drop us one of those if you can, just like Alabama Woodworker tends to do quite often. So that pretty much wraps up this episode. So if you guys are good to go with a good sign-off, we want to wish you guys well. Please be safe in your shops, and we will talk to you on the next podcast. So 1, 2, 3.
Boom!